You know, just to make myself feel better about this whole project here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. Man, I like it already. Now, just because I am super impatient, I'm just gonna see how well this goes. And there we are with the intended purpose. I'm happy already. Right. Is this gonna fit in here? Nice. Hey guys, and welcome back to Dan's Pro Shop. Today we are installing a hitch on the old family truckster. This is my wife's main transport here. This is a 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe, which is pretty much a Kia SUV, or what are the Sportage or Sportage? I don't know. They're pretty much all the same. But I tell you what, this thing has been a freaking workhorse so far. But we are going to upgrade this thing a little bit with a Curt pretty much factory hitch. And let me explain to you why. This old girl right here is my 2021 Husqvarna TX300i. And boy, do I have a real affinity for this old girl. And, you know, the older the kids get, the more we're getting into things. We're like mobile. So we're going out and doing things. And I need more than one way to get this thing from A to B. And not only does the Husky need transport, but we got some other stuff here that pretty much just needs a different mode to get from A to B other than the back of the truck. And you know, I have a thing for motorcycles. What do you want? Now, some people might say, hey Dan, why do you need all these motorcycles? But to those people, I say,
why not?
Why not? You know, motorcycles are like, shoes or handbags for the ladies, you know? Just because you can only use one at a time doesn't mean that they all don't have their specific purpose for different things, you know? Some have a clutch, some don't have a clutch, some are big and fast, some are small and kind of not fast, and some are for going down a road, and some are for hopping from here to there. But either way, enough about my problems. Let's get to the project, putting this hitch on a 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe. First things first, I suppose, we'll get this thing out of here. A little bit of backstory. This is a Curt hitch. Curt is a good name brand. I've used them before. I've used them for different stuff. I like them. It's a good, reliable brand. This particular one, actually, I think I got off of Amazon. But there are a ton of different places to get these things. Just type in your year, make, model, and usually 9 times out of 10, there is a hitch applicable for your vehicle. Not to mention, we got the Curt wiring harness connector for the OE connector in this vehicle because it was like an option. If you wanted to from the dealer, you could get this vehicle with a hitch, so they just don't have the wiring harness that goes down to the bumper. We got one from Curt, and as well as a little mount for the 4-pin plug thing that goes on the hitch bar. So as far as I'm concerned, this is about as OE of a look as you can get for doing something aftermarket yourself. But let's get this thing out of here on the floor and go through the parts. Honestly, it's not really that bad. Wow, this is a whole lot of box for not a whole lot. Huh. There really ain't much to this, but it is a weird shape. You see how this side goes right up to what I presume to be like a frame rail? This side is definitely like cut out like that for the exhaust. I can pretty much just guarantee you that. Not only just from thinking about it, but that's the passenger side. That's where the muffler is. So, unfortunately, this isn't a new car now. We got about 70,000 miles on this thing, and it's 5 years old. So the underneath is going to be grody, probably going to run into some rusty fasteners, and it's going to be dirty. I'm not super looking forward to this. But now that we got all this crap out of here, I can pretty much tell you, step one, we're dropping the spare tire. There ain't no way you're getting this thing in there and you're noggin and all that crap with the spare tire in the way. Now, you might be able to, but trust me, you don't want to. So we're going to drop that spare tire, maybe take some of those rubber hangers off the exhaust to like help wiggle that thing out of the way, and maybe even a heat shield. But this shouldn't be too bad, man. I hope I didn't just screw myself with that. Now, if you're like me and you're doing this in a lived-in vehicle, getting to the stuff to drop the spare tire may be the most difficult part of this project. However, with the Hyundais, in case you're unfamiliar, like I mentioned, Kias are pretty much the same. Under this rear flap here, there's like your accessory crap here. And on the right-hand side is where your tire jack equipment is. And below this, there's the port where you can drop your spare tire. We're going to do that now. And get this thing out of here. And this guy right here. This. Oh, I suppose we could maybe use the screwdriver in the kit. How you like that? Unscrew this guy, and that gives us access to this nut that will spin down the spare tire. Will that do it? Oh, yeah. Boy, that thing's gnarly. One growly old, yeah, wow. Western Pennsylvania for you. Another thing that I totally forgot to mention here. Check this out. Yep, I got this car undercoated when we got it. And I totally forgot about it. So this is going to be just one goopy, gnarly mess. Alrighty, so looking at the book that came here with the hardware kit, I mean, we're talking, what, we got 1, 5, 7 bolts in this thing? Like, nothing? Tells you what kind of tools you're going to need. Step 1, drop the spare tire. Nailed it, right? Second one, we need to remove some plastic panels from up underneath. Then step 3, lower exhaust by removing the rubber isolators. Okay, and then remove rubber plug from bottom and passenger side frame rail. The rubber plug, that's where the bolts are going to go. And raise the hitch into place. Start bolting up. So, wow, that's it. What is it? 10 steps in total if you read all of them. I suppose the next step, we'll get under there and remove them plastic little panel thingies that it was talking about. And then crack them exhaust hangers loose and we'll get to it. Hopefully this isn't too bad. Alrighty. Let's throw us a creeper down here and some light and see what we're working with. Huh. This isn't too bad. Minus whatever's dripping on me right here. No, that's just water. We're okay. All right, let me show you what we got going on here. This isn't too bad, I hope. So the plastic panels they were talking about is this guy right here. So that appears to be maybe a 13 or a 14. We'll go ahead and remove these and pull this cover on the driver's side clean down out of the way. Then as far as the exhaust goes, we're going to need to remove that hanger right there. And I don't know, there may be another one on the other side or further up. But either way, the more flexible we make this thing, the better our lives is going to be. So first thing, remove a couple of these push pins from the bottom here. Well, probably break half of them and lose the other half. There we go, there's one. Oh, that's supposed to be threaded. Well then, I think those were supposed to be threaded. I don't know. Maybe yours is threaded. Maybe mine's not. I don't know what's happening. But either way, there's that. All right, let's move over to the exhaust. Well, maybe this is going to work. When it comes to exhaust hangers, a lot of people have a lot of fancy tools for doing this. I know they exist, but I don't have one. So I think what I'm going to do, hose the crap out of these things. Because exhaust mounts are just like mountain tires. The wetter, the better. So I'm gonna do me. Oh, looky there. Well, that one's off. Nice. A little bit of pry bar action, a little bit of PB blaster, and this one is off and out of the way. And oh, there's another one up there we can drop. It might help us significantly here. This guy right here. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of schmoo. And maybe you want some pry action? Hmm? Come on. Oh, you devil. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're like halfway. Come on. Oop. There we have it. Oh, yeah. That lets this thing free jiggle pretty good here. Now let's see what we're up to. Oh, okay. Well, guys, I guess right out of the gate, I should probably apologize to you for how terrible the footage is going to be on this. You see, I'm just working on the ground in a regular old average Joe garage. But I think this is kind of nifty because, like, if you go online and look at the videos for doing this, like the factory OE videos of doing this, it's always some professional with some 80 by 90 garage with 15-foot ceilings and 4-post lifts and 2-post lifts and all the fancy tools and this and that and, perfect operating conditions. That's not how the normal person lives. Chances are, if you bought this thing, this is what you're doing. Or, if you're not lucky enough to have a roof over your head, maybe you're on the sidewalk or out in the gravel or something. You got to make do. So we're going to do this just flat on the ground, not lifting it, not yanking the wheels off. We're just doing it like this. So please excuse the lack of like good angles and camera ship for this. I'm sorry, but we're going to keep going here. All right, so my bad. Evidently, there are 3 exhaust hangers. There's one on the back side of the muffler that I missed, but I'll get that when I go over there. No big. You get them out. The next step is to remove those plugs from the bottom of the frame rails. And it says here to return them to the vehicle owner. Oh, consider them returned into the garbage. So after you take them plugs out, the next step, it tells you to put the hitch up in there and start installing hardware. So, yeah, I don't know. It says an M10 hex bolt, 3/8. So which is it? Is it 10 mil or 3/8? Either way, whatever. We're gonna put that thing up in there and start slinging some hardware. Alrighty, so for the plugs that they want you to remove, on the driver's side, it's here and here because there are weld nuts inside the chassis of the vehicle. Now these ones are already missing. I'm guessing probably the undercoat guy did that. However, there is still one over on the passenger, so I can at least show you what it looks like. The plug over here that I'm talking about is this guy. Well, I guess not that one. That's a big hole. Oh, yeah, there is a hole here and a hole here with a weld nut in it. So evidently all of my plugs are missing, but if you had them, they would be here and here on both sides. That's cool. One more step done. Let's keep moving. Oh, again, guys, I'm super sorry about the camera angle here. This is the best that I got. So we're taking these M10 bolts here they supply in the kit. It tells you it wants you to install 2 of them on the passenger side and 1 of them on the driver's side. So I got myself a 17 impact socket short well so I can hopefully help myself in here. I'm going to go ahead and throw that thing on my chest and I'll come back in here. Oh, is this even going to work? Maybe. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well then. Doing this with a buddy may not be a terrible idea. Just saying. If you're trying to do this by yourself, maybe don't do it by yourself. Or at least have a smaller gut than me. Come on. Oh, I'm stuck on the bracket. Come on. There we go. Maybe. we're getting somewhere. Well, I think maybe. Oh, there we go. I'm over the exhaust. That's half the battle. I'm gonna come back your way a little bit. Come on now. Whoop. Never mind that. Cool. I think that's the majority of in place. Now, my dad gut's actually kind of working for me here. Go ahead, get this one bolt up in here started. Well, got that one started by hand. Maybe this undercoat's doing what it's supposed to do. There's no way that should have just worked. Whatever, I'll take it. Now, let me get some of these on the passenger side here. Are you going to line up? You going to do your job? Oh, come on. Maybe? I'm desperately reminded how not left-handed I am. I think it started. There we go. One more. Ooh. Come on. Is it in there? It started. I'll call that a win. Well, now I better lose 2 inches off my torso or else I'm stuck in here. Well, let me go grab some more hardware and figure this out. Man, that is tight under there. So cool. We got the 1 bolt on the driver's side and the 2 on the passenger side, just in but loose. But they're in. They're holding the thing up there. That's half the battle. Now we can use these long, stupid, I think they're carriage bolts. Yeah, carriage bolts that actually go through the chassis into the hitch. So let me show you what's up with that. So these big mothers is what I'm talking about. There are 4 of them in total. They are all the same length. However, 2 of them are 7/16 and 2 of them are 1/2 inch. So according to this thing, the 1/2 inch bolts go through on the driver's side and the 7/16 bolts go through on the passenger side. Just so you know that. I don't know if it matters the orientation of how these things go through the hitch, like start from the inside and nut on the outside or vice versa or whatever. But keep in mind, you're going to have to go around and torque these things. So I'm just kind of going to go with wherever the nut is easier for me to land a torque wrench on that thing whenever we're done with this. That's just kind of what I'm doing. I don't know if there's a method to the madness, but let me peek your head in there now that my big butt isn't, so you can see the progress that we have so far. Let me flip you around here. Well, that's a flattering view. So up onto here, you guys can see there on the driver's side, we got 1 bolt. I mean, even though there's 2 holes there, they only utilize the one of them, whatever. That's the driver's side. And on the passenger side, there, can you see it? I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to do this upside down and backwards. Is it up here somewhere? Can you see it, maybe? No? How about here? We got to be getting close. Hey, look at there. 2 bolts right over top of the muffler. So it is exactly on top of the muffler. That's where those 2 10mm bolts go. And just keep in mind, do not tighten these yet. Doing it again. Oh. Okay, so for the driver's side, I want the big 1/2 inch bolts. And I am going to go in through the hitch and then capture on the inside of the frame rail. So like I mentioned, I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I am doing. And honestly, it kind of works because the slots that the bolts go through in the hitch are just that. They're slots. So they actually capture and engage the square under the head of the carriage bolt. So it'll keep this thing from spinning whenever you're tightening it. And not to mention, it will make accessing the fastener on the inside of here so much easier. Oh, that's going to be nice and tight. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit a socket in that one. Okay, for the 7/16 bolts on the passenger side. This is going to be the same thing, but like in reverse, if that makes any sense. Because the flanged part of the hitch is on the interior of the vehicle, I'm going to start the bolt through that side and then capture the nut on the other side. So just keep that in mind. The head of the bolt goes on the hitch side. The threaded part of the bolt, or where the nut goes on the vehicle side. Oh, come on, you rotten son of a... I know you want it. Come on. Oh boy. Where are you going? What is with that? Maybe some light? I can't even see the other one. What do they expect you to do with this? The one I couldn't see, I got started. Okay, what's your deal here? You got a problem? No problem with you? Come on. What is your deal, man? Oh, you're about to get some hemorrhage. You don't want none of that business. Like, oh, that's what's going to happen. Where's that pry bar? What? Oh, yeah. That ain't messing up the threads at all. There you go, old girl. Come on. That's what's up with that. Don't worry. I got a 1/2-inch impact gun that don't care about messed up threads. Now, where's the other one at? Oh. Ooh, that sounded good. Maybe. Where'd you go? You through? Oh, by golly, it went through. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I've been like 6'1", 220 pounds the majority of my adult life. For most things, it's awesome. Being a mechanic is usually not one of those things. Holy cow, I think we got it started. Cool. So now all 4 of the big long through bolts are started and in. I'm going to go ahead and send these 10 mils up. And yeah, I'm good with that. Contact. Oh my God, that's loud. Whew. Well, I'm going to have to use a ratchet over here. Yeah, whatever. What do we got for this one? Yeah, can it fit there? All right, do some cranking on that. I'll tell you what, that deserves a 1/2 inch. Now, Dan, is there a torque spec for these? I can pretty much guarantee you there is, and it probably says so right in the book. But I'm going to tighten this until I feel happy with it. Now, keep in mind, this is a welded nut into the frame of your South Korean car. So, chances of this being like quality craftsmanship, I don't know, just don't bet the farm on it, that's all I'm saying. So I'm going until this is good, well, at least elbow torque anyway, and I'm happy with it. And then we'll look at the book at the end of this thing, see what they want, and go back over this and see how close it is. Because I can pretty much guarantee you it went over already. Oh yeah, that'll do, pig. What size are you? Well, that's weird. Oh, okay, I'll take that. 19 or 3/4 for the big ones. And I'm guessing probably 5/8 for the other one. Oh, maybe it's the 17 I already got laying out here. Is that what I need over here? Nice. Come on, don't just spin, do something. Ah, come on. Oh, there you are. I think a shallow well will work just fine for your stubborn little butt. Alrighty, passenger side, 17 mil. Difficult to get to with exhaust. Flex head ratchet engage. Oh, that's the ticket there, boss. Come on. And for those of you that are sticking with me, I thoroughly appreciate it, because I know you can't see anything, and I'm sure my commentary is just rough at best. Man, what is your problem? There we go. Come on. Here's that. There we go. Tighten her down. Whoa, whoa. We're starting to get something on this one. And do the same thing back home. Come on, boy. Don't play with my emotions. Smokey.
Smokey, playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
And you know this, man.
What is this ruckus? Yeah. Tell you what, if any of you guys have ever done any wrenching, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say you're working by braille. You can't see anything. You don't know what you're doing. And it's just, well, I can kind of feel it with my left pinky. And yeah, that's usually good enough. Sweet. Alrighty, for all intents and purposes, the passenger side is on there. And, oh boy, can you see that? There's my stupid fat head. There you go. Them two guys right there. So there's a flange that goes up on the inside of the passenger side, which I will show you. And then it's captured by the nuts out here. And then those are the two 10 mils that are tightened up underneath. So you tighten the bottom ones first, get her up tight to the chassis. Then, well, you want all four of them in first. Then tighten up the bottom ones, then tighten up the through bolts. Now, let's go take a gander over there at the driver's side. Now, from what I can tell, the picture is going to present a little bit of a conundrum. You see whatever the heck this stupid stick is or something? I have no clue what that thing is, but it is right on that nut. So hopefully there's enough space in there to, you know, help along a socket to a pound one on there. But either way, you know, we're looking at the same thing here. One bolt on the bottom, two through. Once everything's in, cinch up the bottom one, tighten her up, then we'll tighten up these two. Oh boy. Is that gonna work? That might actually fly. Whatever, I'll take it. Yeah, it'll self-clearance. Who cares? You actually going anywhere? Or you just spinning? Can't see none of this crap. Certainly don't want my head right there either. Ooh. Oh, oh my. Come on now. It's like I almost have enough room to do something here. This is rough. Come on now. Gotta fall in that slot there. You going? I think it is. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, now? What's your problem? Oh, let's try the other one. Oh, that's significantly easier. Now, I'm going to try to get these bolt holes, these, like the flats on the back of the bolt, to fall into the slot on the hitch. This has proven to be more difficult than I anticipated, for no bloody reason. What is your problem? What's the deal? Oh, they still got them channel locks. Yeah. I think that'll do it. Is that more better? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Muy bueno. Oh, this would be so much better if this wasn't my exploded shoulder. Oop. 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 Oh, wow. Things are popping. On me, not the car. You going? Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's way better. Oh, I'm definitely gonna need some Aleve after this project. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whew. Might even need a little bit of a breather, to be honest with you. Is that one going there right? Oh, yeah. That's brilliant. Nailed it! Honestly, fellas, other than the impromptu Pilates, that's honestly not too bad. So now I'm going to look at this thing, see how tight it wants you to make them, because I can pretty much guarantee you that we already surpassed it. And then we might as well, for safety's sake, you know, this is my wife's car, go ahead and check and make sure everything is according to the book. And then yeah, we can move on to the wiring. So the hardware part of this is pretty much done. We're just going to check the torque on those things, put the exhaust back up, and I'm not going to reinstall that cover yet because I'm almost positive that's where the wiring harness goes. So I'll meet you back here in a minute once I get a game plan. So for those of you wondering and concerned, and if you were, Bravo for thinking ahead. Those carriage bolts that go through the chassis, you may be thinking, hey, if you tighten those, isn't it going to collapse the frame right there? Nay, these holes are actually sleeved, meaning that there's like a small piece of pipe in there from side to side. So yes, it will flex a little bit, but it compresses on that sleeve inside of the hole. So whenever you crank it down, it doesn't just collapse the frame that you're bolting through. Either way, it says here, for the 1/2-inch hardware on the driver's side, 110 foot-pounds. 7/16 on the passenger side, 60 foot-pounds. And the M10 up underneath, the small ones, 48 foot-pounds. And I can pretty much tell you that I already went over that. But either way, we're going to check it with the torque wrench just to make sure everybody's good and happy. So, go ahead and get out the old snappy torque angle here. I'm going to do this right quick, and I'll get back with you. Is this thing even going to fit in here? Maybe. Maybe this is why all the big fancy guys do this stuff on a lift, huh? 56. Oh, that's coming loose on me. Don't you be slipping now. There it is. Come on. Oh, there we go. 60.3, I'll take it. Oh, I'm pushing buttons. What'd I just do? I don't know. Is that on there? Maybe. What did I just push? Angle 0. I don't want no angle 0. Shut up. 60 foot-pounds. Where are we at? 53. 53 and a half. Come on. 57.9. What are you doing? There we go. Now for these ones up underneath, that was what, 48? Yeah, I blew right past that. Seen that coming. Oh boy. Man, just nothing fits here. Oh yeah, right past that one. And then these guys over here to 110. 50, 80, 1, 10. Let's see how far off we are on this one. It'd be nice if I could get more than one click out of this stupid thing. 95. 100. Oh, come on now. Oh, 107. Oh, 110.1. You're hot new country, 110.1. Oh, come on. Don't do that. I ain't got no handage here. Come on. Just be nice and do the thing. Where are we at? 95. $102. 106.8. Maybe that's a new thing. Whenever you hit some weird number on the torque wrench that sounds like a radio station, you got to do an intro. Well, make that a thing. Well, that was close. 109.9. Oh, where are you at now? Oh, 110.6 in the morning. Oh. hardware's torqued. Oh, cool. Now that the hardware's torqued and it's effectively installed, I'm going to throw the exhaust back up, get all that crap out of my face, and then we can get on with the wiring. Alrighty, so here we are looking at the wiring harness kit. So step one in the kit tells you to disconnect the battery. If you'd like to, knock yourself out. I'm not gonna. You literally plug this guy in to a plug that's already existing underneath. You just remove the dust cover and snap this in. So yes, I was correct by assuming this is going up under that black plastic thing that I yanked out of there earlier. So we're going to get up in there, see what that looks like. So I should just have a male of this plug with a cover on it. And then I install this guy, and then we'll do some cable routing. Zip tie everything up so it's nice and good. And I think this guy here, the module itself, it stickies to the inside of that thing. So we'll do a little brake cleaning and get a good spot or a good home for this thing. And then, yeah, do the thing. So before I bother shoving yins under here, oh boy, howdy. This is pretty simple and self-explanatory. Yeah. I guess we just got to find a good spot to put this module. I don't want to stick it to the bumper. But inside of this little box, there is some stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's a good spot for that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to rely just on sticky to hold it there. No, that's not going to fly. Maybe up in here? I don't know what that is, or we'd send a screw through it. Might show up under the carpet or something. Either way, let me show you the plug. It's super simple. So the plug for this harness is up here underneath that plastic cover we took off. And this guy right here, the bottom one. So obviously the top one that's connected stays connected. This bottom one that has nothing in it, that is what is going to plug into our harness. Take the dust cover off that plug, plug this one in, route some wires. Oh, it don't say so in the instructions. Well, honestly, it might. I didn't really read them. On this plug here, I strongly suggest you schmooing a little bit of dielectric grease on here. Since this thing is going to live under the car, hopefully for the rest of eternity, I really don't want to have to come back and tear this thing apart and depin it for a potential problem. So, even though this is a weather-tight plug, yeah, whatever. Schmoo some dielectric grease on here before you snap it in. You can't go wrong. All right. Snap, crackle, pop. Now, got to find a suitable location to mount this module. And then this guy comes over here on the hitch. And this will be our receiving 4-way pin. Now, I just got to find a place to hang this stupid thing. It's applicable, out of the way, preferably covered. I don't know what I'm going to do here. That would be kind of cool if that worked. Let me see if I got a nut that fits on there. Boy, howdy, that might be the ticket there. Don't worry, I'll show you. Man, honestly, I think that's going to work swimmingly. I don't know if that's what they intended. But, whatever. I think that'll be just fine. Maybe do some zip tying. Yeah. That's the next step. We're zip tying. Alrighty, fellas. So here we are with the brake controller module box thingy. So I thought at first, since it has that little tab up top, maybe go through that hole. Or there's not really a good spot in here to stick it to that's not the bumper, which I'm not crazy about. So See these two little studs sticking out of the top to house this plastic white thing? Well, I just used that through hole up top and an M6 nut to capture that thing. So now this is fixed on here pretty solid. And, you know, it's hanging in a vertical orientation. So if this thing does inevitably get wet, it just kind of drains out. It doesn't sit there. But hopefully that's not a problem. Either way, we'll do a little bit of wire management here, do some zip tying, throw a fuse in that old boy right there, give her a good old function test. Now, before I get too crazy with the zip tying and the wiring and everything, I'm going to go ahead and throw this little angle bracket up underneath the bumper. Now this, I'm just going to screw right into the skirt up underneath. You'll never really see, but at least it's like a nice home for this wire. It's not just going to be dangling here, so it'll actually look like presentable. But yeah, either way, just a couple zip screws and boop, boop. Come on, where you at? There you go. All right. Ideal? No. Is it going to work? Yeah. Snippy poo. Just a little snippy poo. Now what we got going on in there? Is that going to work? By golly, I just think this just might work. Maybe another zippy poo right there? Oh, successful one-handed zip tie. Nice. I'll throw that fuse in here and check everything before I put the cover back on. Because, yeah. Oh, let's throw some grease on this too. Oh boy. Come on. Put the cover on that joiner. There we go. She's up in there. All right. I suppose plug the tester in here. Turn the key on, see what we got. All right. Got that plugged in there. Let's see what we got going on. Are we blanking? Oh, nice. So what do we got here? Tail markers, left turn, right turn. Now, Jens, let me know if your brake lights come on. Well, I'm going to have to review the footage, but I think that's a win. Go ahead and slap a little more grease on these exposed pins because they're going to live out in the crap here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, smooth that all up real nice. Go ahead and put the little cap on here. And that's a wrap. Well, guys, we are nearing the finish line here. So if you're keeping tabs with what's going on, we have removed all the unnecessary crap, installed the hitch into the factory location with minimal hardware. I mean, honestly, this wasn't bad. I put a lot of hitches in my day. And other than, like, it's just a bear to get to because I'm a big guy under a little car, whatever, not that big of a deal. And we installed a factory-ish wiring harness that just works, and honestly found a cool little spot for it. So the only thing left to do is to reinstall that black cover thing that goes over the wiring harness location and put back in the spare tire. So let me button this back up here and wrap this thing up. And last but certainly not least, to cap off the entire project here, a cap. Well, guys, all said and done. Here we are with our 2020 Santa Fe / Kia, whatever, with a pretty darn factory hitch install. I mean, it looks decent. It doesn't hang out stupid, super low like a lot of these ones that you see in cars and stuff. And we got a pretty well factory wiring harness that just works, and we confirmed it with the tester. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe an hour or so messing around with this thing, getting a little greasy, gives you an excuse to spend an afternoon in the garage. So if you got something similar to this and you were thinking about doing this, hey man, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And in case I forgot to mention it, don't worry, I will link all the stuff that I used here down in the description so you can get on over to the Amazons and get everything you need to do for this project. I will link the two most important things, the hitch and the wiring harness, but also some tools that you may need to do this project. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know I'm sure going to use the heck out of this thing. And we will see you next time. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And there we are with the intended purpose. I'm happy already.